Welcome back to the Buds in the Box podcast. Canada beat Austria 11-2 in the second game of the World Juniors, and a historic night for Team Canada as Connor Berdard becomes the first 16-year-old for Team Canada to score 4 goals in a game. The only other player who got close to that was Wayne Gretzky, who got a hat trick twice in this tournament as a 16-year-old. I mean, unbelievable stuff that we just witnessed here. We just witnessed a historic Canadian moment. And this is just the start for Connor Berdard. I'm so excited to see what he has in store for the rest of the tournament and the rest of his career. What do you guys think?
I mean, that was back-to-back games with historic nights from them. I mean, what else aside from Canada can you say about that? So, I mean, definitely a sick night. Cool to see the backup play, and just, I don't know. We kind of knew it was going to be a pumping just because it was Austria, but in the end, it's cool to see different players shine like they did today. So definitely a cool game to watch.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, whatever team gets Bedard is in a really good spot in the NHL. Like he looks like he's 16 and he's already looking like better than a lot of the guys out there that are entering the NHL. You know, so he's like he's looking really good. I don't know. I know we made a Bedard versus Michkov video, but I think Bedard's better now. I said Michkov back then, but I think Bedard.
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell. We'll also link that video as a card right here if you guys want to go watch that one. Historic night for Canada. They just completely demolished Austria. I mean, that was probably, like, other than the Germany 16-2 game, that was probably the greatest Canadian game of all time. They just completely outplayed them. To be fair to Germany, though, in that game, they had a bunch of players in COVID. But yeah, I'm just gonna see who scored because there was a lot of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the first time we've met Austria since 1981. I heard Gordon Miller say that. So that's a long time, right? So
no, that's a short amount of time.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, okay. So the power play, they had how many power play goals tonight? 3 power play goals tonight, and I only think they had like 4 power plays in total. So I mean, did you guys see any of those goals?
Yeah. I like Kent Johnson's goal. That was nice.
Oh yeah.
That was, I think, the first goal of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a snipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kent Johnson looks really good for any Columbus fans out there.
What?
For Columbus fans, I feel bad. No, I'm kidding. I said Kent Johnson, he's good. And he's a Columbus draft pick, so
okay.
He's looking like he scored that first goal, that one-timer there. And this year at Michigan, he's also doing really well. Mm-hmm. He's got he leads the team in points, and he's an 0-2. So he's looking like he's got a high upside. That shot was unreal.
It was.
Yeah. Also power play goals by Connor Berdard and Connor
Bahu?
Connor Berdard. Sorry. I just realized that there's only 2 power play goals. Austria scored the other power play goal that I was thinking Canada did, the last goal of the game. So power play goals from Ken Johnson and Connor Berdard. We had goals from Cormier. I thought he played really, really well. Stankoven, he played really well as well.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then obviously Bedard had his 3 goals in a row, which was unbelievable. Perfetti played decent.
Yeah, he was okay. There's a few guys who didn't really do much, but I feel like it was kind of because they were playing the young guys so much because it was such a blowout. But there were guys like you really didn't notice. Some of the guys that you did in the first game with Power was pretty unnoticeable, actually.
Yeah,
he didn't really do that much.
Yeah, he actually had a few assists though.
Yeah, but compared to what he was doing the other night, they were playing him less because of, because they were blowing out the team. But, yeah.
Yeah. Mason McTavish with a pair of goals, and then Mavrik Bourque finished off the scoring for Canada.
His name's Mavrik?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, like Logan Paul.
I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah. Said Logan Paul.
So I just had a few questions for you guys. I mean, there's not really much to talk about game-wise. And Connor Berdard's obviously his historic night. MVP for the tournament. Who do you guys think wins it? Is it Bedard? Is it Power? Is it Lambert? Who do you guys have?
I haven't really thought about that. I've been watching most of the games, but I've missed a bit. I watched that first Finland game. And then I basically watched all the games on the first day, and then I watched Canada today. I didn't watch the games yesterday. But in my eyes, I think Matthew Nice. No, I'm kidding. No,
Yeah, Matthew Nyes went off today. Nyes went off today.
Did he? Yeah, he went crazy. I think it's him who has COVID now. I don't know. But I like Brad Lambert. He's going off. Like he's doing Finland's. They had a close game and then they had a blowout game. But I think he's got like 5 points or something like that. And he's like the main attraction there, like in Finland right now for their team. And he's a 04. So he's getting drafted this year, like an 04. Doing that, he's basically not carrying the team, but he's doing the most on the team, right? So when an 04 is doing that, it's like that's pretty cool, right? So I think Brad Lambert.
Jude?
You know what? I don't know. There's a tough one. I mean, this is a tough one, but I don't know. I feel like McTavish is gonna get it. I think McTavish is gonna. I don't know. He seems like that type of guy to be clutch in the clutch games, right? Like this is like we got a glimpse of Bedard yesterday, right? They gave him more time as time went on, kind of thing. And then today we really got to see him shine. But like with McTavish, like opening up the scoring and everything like that, including against a team that we went down 3-1 to. I don't know. I think when we're tested against the better teams, we're really going to see who shines. So, and I don't know. I personally think McTavish will be the one that will shine. So,
yeah, I definitely have to agree with both you, Lambert, McTavish. They're both decent candidates. I think it all comes down to that one game, Canada versus Finland. Whoever outshines who, that'll determine who will be the MVP, I think. And that game's on the 31st, I believe. So we'll be covering that. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Another question I had for you guys. How do you feel about Shane Wright? Because I guess you can kind of say at this point, he only has like 1 point in 2 games. Would you say he's underperforming?
Yeah, I was just going to, sorry, I don't know if Philly, you wanted to go, but I was just going to say that prior. So glad I wasn't cutting you off there. I was just going to say prior when we were talking about the, like just the Bedard situation and all that, and the younger players like Philly mentioned. I mean, I don't know. Like I saw him like miss the net a couple times. He's been invisible to me. I don't know if you guys can agree with that, but I guess he doesn't agree with it. I shouldn't have said it. I'm sorry, everybody. I should not have said that. Sorry, that was pretty controversial. I saw his camera move, and I nearly stubbed his toe. No,
I heard it.
Oh, my toe went off like the desk. Oh.
The face you made was the best part. But yeah, I mean, Wright's been kind of invisible to me, and I don't know. Ray Ferraro said he looks kind of nervous during the pregame show. So I mean, we'll see if he can break out of those nerves or he's gonna stay single digits. I don't know. We'll see.
I'd say it's pretty accurate. I feel like he is nervous, but Bedard is also an 05. You know, they're the only 2 guys under 18, I think, right? So
for Team Canada, yeah.
For Team Canada. So there's one guy did Bedard have any points in the first game?
No.
So like they both kind of didn't do anything that first game. This game, Bedard stepped it up, and he's a year younger than Wright, and he kind of just looks all around better. That's after 2 games of watching them. Next game, Wright could have 5 goals. Who knows, right?
Exactly.
I feel like I watched that game, and I feel like I watched Wright have a wide open scoring chance and pass it off. So I don't know. Maybe he just has to shoot more, but then again, he was missing the net a few times. So I don't know. I mean, he's gonna go first overall. Like I don't think it's a huge deal. Well, actually, I take that back. There's guys like Brad Lambert outperforming him. That's why this tournament is such a big deal for the NHL draft. Every scout is watching every game, right? So if you didn't know anything about anyone previous and you were like, okay, these are the 04s and draft eligible guys for this year's draft, the 2022 draft, and you were just watching it, you'd be like, okay, Brad Lambert's number 1, right? Who else is in 04? Well, Meshkov isn't eligible, but you know what I mean. You'd be like, Wright's not really up there. Like, he's obviously keeping up with the game and he got an assist and he's like, but he'd be like a top 10 pick, right? But he's not like a first overall talent right now because when you think about it, guys like even Line, right? When they're in their draft year, like right before he got drafted, he had a crazy amount of points in the World Juniors. Matthews, McDavid, like all these guys did like really well before they were drafted. So when they were like the underagers, right? So watching him, it's like, and Tavares too. It's like, so watching him is like, it's weird because he's underperforming as of 2 games, but like it's weird.
Yeah,
like he is this like top like he's first overall pick. Like they're saying he's going to be the first overall pick, but he's not doing much. He's not doing as much as like Bedard, who's going to be like a year younger than him.
Yeah, I think he's just one of those guys that he doesn't have to put on like show up in the score sheet to be like really good.
Yeah.
Like I didn't find him invisible. I find it kind of hard to find him invisible because he has that cage on, especially with Bedard with the fishbowl as well. But I mean, I noticed him a lot. He was making some good plays. I think he was like +3 or 4. So he like obviously people on his line scored. He just didn't show up on the score sheet only once. So
he's going to be an NHL hockey player. Like there's no doubt about it, right? It's just whether he's like that extra like first overall guy, like that's kind of what I thought Power was. Like he's not that like first overall guy. He's like a safe pick, but picking a guy like Wright first overall, it's like, yeah. And then you look at his OHL stats and he's over a point a game, right? So it's like he's obviously really good. It's just like one tournament he underproduces. It's like, I don't think it's a huge deal. He's still going to go top 5, top 3 probably.
Yeah.
So
well, we've done this podcast for 2 years. We've talked to many people like Billy Constantino and Sam Hosak. They personally know him. Billy played with him. Sam was associated with him. So they can talk all day about him. We've asked them about him, and he said he's a great leader. And Felly's camera must have malfunctioned, but he's a great leader. And I still think even if he underperforms in this tournament, like last year, it didn't affect Byfield. I don't think it's going to affect Shane Wright as the consensus number 1 pick. He's just too good. And also speaking of underperforming, I have 2 more things before we kind of wrap this show up. One, I just want to ask you guys about Dylan Guenther because
Guenther?
Yeah, Guenther. Sorry. Because he was like the 2nd overall pick last year. And sorry, Felly had some technical issues, but
yeah, my bad. My computer was acting all weird, and then I like stubbed my toe again. So
it does that.
So there was like a whole like situation there. Anyway.
Anyways, so yeah, it was Guenther. How do you say it, Jude?
Guenther.
He's
Guenther.
I personally found him as invisible. I think he was like the 2nd overall pick last year. So
what?
Yeah.
No.
I swear.
No, that guy from the U.S. was the 2nd overall pick.
Okay, wait. Or I think Guenther was taken.
What's his name?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Guenther was taken I think he was taken 2 years ago as the 2nd overall pick.
No. Hughes' draft?
No. Okay, let me see.
Wait, Turcotte, Felly? No.
I think he thinks he went 2nd overall on Hughes' draft.
You think about Turcotte, Felly? Who do you think about?
No, it wasn't Turcotte. No, 2nd overall last year was after Power.
Oh.
It was that American guy. I don't know.
The captain?
Beniers went 1 second last year.
Beniers.
But Guenther is I think he's like a top 5 pick or something. Or maybe I'm just tripping, but
I don't know. I don't know what pick. You want me to check?
Because he went to Arizona. They must have had a really low pick 2 years ago, right?
That's what you wear to work.
What is going on?
Bro, Netflix is like glitching.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. He was a ninth overall pick, which is still really high. He's underperforming, I'd say. Have you guys noticed him? That's what I was trying to get at.
I don't know. Okay, like from you saying that, like the Shane Wright thing, when I said invisible, I didn't mean that it was impossible to see him. You brought up his cage, and I meant
That's the definition of invisible.
No, I'm saying in the sense of he's invisible in terms of just like moving,
like score sheet wise,
movement with the puck, and score sheet wise, like he's there, but it doesn't really like he's not dangerous. He's not like when he touches the puck, it's like Bedard or the power. On Boxing Day, right? It's just like, oh, Wright's got the puck. He'll probably move it well. Like when Perfetti has it, you're expecting like a cool saucer pass or like a good shot. I don't know. He's been doing that. He's been doing it consistently these past 2 games. It's just like Wright. He's been consistently doing what is more or less what I was saying in terms of invisibility. And with Gunther, I don't know. I feel like he moves the puck really well, and he's a really good skater. What's he on the score sheet? Is he doing well this tournament or?
I think he had like an assist or 2.
He's just saying, I don't know why. I just noticed his name said more than Wright, and just overall, I don't know. I think he looks more confident. That's the biggest thing with Wright is confidence and nerves. And I think Gunther just looks more confident, and even if he's not doing that much more.
Yeah, Wright's also like he is getting less playing time than everyone.
Yeah.
Like remember when Drysdale and Byfield had their cages on?
Yeah.
Right? They didn't get a lot of playing time.
Yeah.
And then the next year after they got drafted, they got a bunch of playing time. So it's just like it's their first time in the tournament. They're performing in their leagues, in the OHL and the WHL, right? So Wright's gonna be a top 3 pick regardless. And then next year he probably rips it up at the World Juniors. But there's a super prime example of how the World Juniors is not the greatest. Like, obviously, everyone's seeing you. It's the world stage. The World Juniors isn't the best indicator of what a player can do, because remember what Lafreniere did 2 years ago? He was like a man among boys. Like, he was doing everything. He was crazy. It looked like he was an NHL player playing with a bunch of OHL players. Like, he was literally that much better than everyone else. And then he enters the league and he's like, he does nothing.
Yeah, but that's on the Rangers.
The Rangers are good.
I know, but that's like on them that he's playing bad because they don't play him.
It's not, though. He's an NHL hockey player.
I know, but he's on the bottom.
He's an NHL hockey player. It's just say that what he did in the World Juniors did not translate to the NHL.
Yeah, directly. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because he was overpowering everyone in that World Juniors, and then he went to the NHL and he's not doing nearly what he was doing, right? So
yeah, it was very underwhelming his rookie and sophomore season.
Right. So, but then when you watched him in the World Juniors, you would be like, wow, that guy is going to be good, right? Mm-hmm. You're looking at him and you're like, that guy is going to be unreal because he was dominating, right? So the World Juniors sometimes is not the best indicator because goalies are worse. There's blowout games like this. If you go on someone's Elite Prospects page and you go look at World Junior stats, you're like, wow, he had 9 points in 6 games, but like 4 of the points came from a 11-1 blowout, right? So it's like it all depends, really. Like, you can't judge anyone off of a few games just because it's on a world stage, right?
Yeah. Speaking of judging people by 2 games, I wanted to get into the debate as like kind of the last topic for the podcast tonight. I said this before and you guys kind of, raised some eyebrows, but I just said that no one will ever touch Wayne Gretzky's greatness because he's just one of the best hockey players to ever live, and that will always be how it is. But Connor Berdard is a modern day Gretzky. I think that's pretty like acceptable to say. It's not a hot take.
Yeah, he's a great hockey player.
It's so like soon to say he's 16.
Yeah.
Well, like comparing the stats and stuff from like the World Juniors. I mean, you look at Wayne Gretzky was the only one to get a hat trick, and this guy breaks it.
I mean, like I said, World Juniors is not a good. It's not always a good translation to the NHL. There are guys like McDavid, Matthews, Laine, even who overperformed, like did crazy good in the World Juniors, and you're like, wow, that guy's like unreal, like noticeably unreal that he's gonna be like good in the NHL. But like then there's guys like Lafreniere, there's guys like Barrett Hayton. Like Barrett Hayton went off for Canada, and he's like, he's okay.
He's also on the Coyotes, so
crazy. Okay, sure, but you can come up with excuses for every guy in the NHL for underperforming. You can come up with excuses for anyone doing anything.
Okay, fair enough.
Like you could say, oh, Matthews didn't score that game because there was a fan that threw a beer at him. That's so
he had a loose hair in his toe.
He had a loose hair in his toe, and that's why I know. But like, you can say, oh, he's on the Coyotes, all this, that. But if you're good enough, right, you're gonna be good.
Yeah, but when I look at
the Oilers,
McDavid went to the Oilers, and they were terrible, and he gets 100 points.
Yeah, so but when I look at Bedard, when he at the last play when he was trying to go for his 5th goal on that power play or whatever, when he was coming down the ice, I just saw a guy who can skate like Connor McDavid and shoot like Austin Matthews.
Okay.
Against the worst team in the world.
Okay.
In this tournament. Yeah.
He might be good. But it's such an overstatement to say he's like
fair enough.
like Gretzky or like McDavid.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just an overstatement because maybe he will be. Maybe we'll go watch this video in 30 years and be like, oh my God.
I was so right.
Bedard.
Connor Berdard broke every record.
But we won't know until literally 30 years from now,
Yeah.
So it's like maybe he will be great. Like I guarantee you he will be good at hockey in the NHL. He will make an impact on any team that he's on.
Mm-hmm.
But is he gonna be like McDavid, Crosby,
Gretzky?
Whatever, right? So
yeah,
he's still 16. So he still has a lot of time, but like whether he's underperforming, overperforming, it's like I said, for him or Wright, it's like not a good indication. It's not the full indication of what they really are or like what they can do because things change all the time.
Yeah. I say honestly, we can come back to this at the end of the tournament. That's one thing, and then come back to this in 5 years and see where they're all at, kind of thing. 10 years even, to see really like what translates into the NHL, like Felly's saying. And just at the end of the tournament, right? It's been two games, and you can't judge anybody off.
Obviously, we'll talk about the NHL draft when it comes around in like June or whatever it is. But do you hear that?
No.
Okay, cool. There will be like, what was I saying?
I don't know.
The NHL
the draft. I'm interested to see where Wright goes now, but like I think he'll still be like first, second, third.
Yeah, I think he'll go first no matter what.
He's a talent. He was an exceptional status pick,
Yeah, honestly, if I was an NHL GM, just completely based off like the stories we hear from like Hosey and Billy, I'd take him number 1.
Yeah, honestly, like he's a great leader. He's got all these personalities. He seems like a good guy. It's just
he's really mature.
You gotta take him. You just have to take him because no matter what, if you don't like him, if he doesn't do what you think he's gonna do, you trade him.
Yeah,
and you're gonna get so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't matter what it is. Like just think about it. Let's say we drafted Matthews and then he had like one meh year in the NHL and wanted to trade him. You know what you could get for that? Probably Eichel.
Unless Brad Lambert blows him out of the water here and goes back to La Liga or whatever, and then just puts up record-breaking numbers.
He's doing so well in a pro league.
Yeah.
His level of competition is like a lot higher too. In the Liga, like that's pro hockey. That's like the 3rd or 4th best league.
Well, people didn't even have Brad Lambert in their top 10. Like a lot of people didn't for the draft this year.
Well, that's interesting because in my franchise mode draft, I actually took him 4th overall.
Well, that's interesting.
So yeah.
That's a great pick. Great pick, Felly.
Felly and the sleepers.
Yeah. Me and Eric picked Mason McTavish one time, I think.
Yeah, he's gross. In
like the 2nd round or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up unless you guys have any objections.
He's objectifying you.
Yep, I'm objectifying everything.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching the Buds and Box podcast. Make sure you guys go check out our sponsors. Link down below. Use code BUDS20 at manscaped.com and thepeoplescup.ca. And that'll do it.
I do have an objection, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Please, no one take a screenshot of when I stub my toe.
Just so say that I'm doing that right now.
I don't think it was pretty.
I'm gonna do that and send it. I'm gonna put it as a thumbnail.
Okay. Yeah, actually, no, don't do that.
Okay, well, all right.
No.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, that'll be it from us. It's been the Buds and Box podcast. Bye for now.